quite a bit of bitterness coming from Team USA's coach Cheryl Reeves when she was asked pretty much any questions about Caitlin Clark. And she was asked if there was any second guessing from her on Caitlin Clark not making the team, and she very just spitefully says no. Doesn't elaborate on it, just says no.
For me? Yeah. No.
And it's funny to me how even she coached this game, because if you didn't think Caitlin Clark was the caliber of player that she is, then why would you feel the need to face guard her, to trap her, to...
What happens when a championship coach grabs a clipboard and starts lighting fires instead of drawing plays? You get chaos, controversy, and enough side-eye to power a reality show. Cheryl Reeve just unleashed pure scorched earth fury on every coach in the league, and torched the entire Indiana Fever roster while she was at it, all over All-Star selections. Spoiler, she didn't come to sip tea, she came to spill it. If you thought WNBA politics were tame, think again. Reeves got the receipts, the rage, and absolutely zero chill. This isn't just a meltdown, it's a masterpiece of petty perfection. Buckle up.
Finished watching the All-Star selection. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Caitlin Clark is a menace, man. She literally kicked Cheryl Reeves off the team. That's my team. I don't yo, son. Cheryl Reeves, you asked for it. You asked for it. So now Sandy Brondello will be coaching Caitlin Clark's team, and Cheryl Reeves is going to be coaching the Visa Collier team. This is insane right here. And it's like, yo, Cheryl Reeves, I get it. You have the best record in the WNBA so far. You want as many plays as you...
Cheryl Reeve could be out here handing out gold bars and single-handedly curing the common cold, and folks would still be lining up just to say, nah, we're good. Because even when she's right, there's something about that old-school WNBA energy that feels outdated. Like showing up to a streaming war with a VHS tape. It's giving big rotary phone energy in a FaceTime world.
Bruh, tell me y'all just saw Caitlin Clark destroy Cheryl Reeves on national TV. I know y'all saw free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke. Bruh, Caitlin Clark want all the smoke. Bruh, she just annihilated Cheryl Reeve on national television.
Now she's storming around over All-Star votes like she just found out democracy isn't perfect. Welcome to Earth, Cheryl. Here's the thing, when one of the league's old guard power brokers starts preaching, it's hard to buy in. Especially when the sermon sounds less like advocacy and more like a salty Yelp review from a coach who just watched her team get outplayed, outshined, and straight up outloved by a franchise that finally matters to the world.
Reeves, man, she came out stating how not only herself, but her players were kind of upset about the coaches' votes for the reserves, for the all. Now, the crazy thing about it is, she's going to be coaching Caitlin Clark's team. So, I don't know how that's going to work with her coming out and saying what she said. I mean...
Oh yes, we're talking about them, the Indiana Fever. The same squad boasting 3 All-Stars. The same team that waltzed through the Commissioner's Cup like they were rehearsing for a Broadway debut at Madison Square Garden. And now... suddenly, Cheryl's emotional thermostat is stuck on rage tweet mode.
The WNBA All-Star draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Visa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap, because Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty. Of course, Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, so that makes sense. But the drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the...
There's a strange scent in the air when someone complains about media hype by creating even more of it. It's like watching someone toss water on a grease fire, then act shocked when the flames hit the ceiling. Cheryl's not mad about fairness. She's mad the spotlight isn't defaulting to her system, her rules, her players anymore. And now that the light has shifted, suddenly, it's a little too bright for her liking. Let's call it what it is, a classic case of all-star envy. Nothing summons the inner chaos goblin of the WNBA quite like watching another team walk away with 3 shiny all-star selections while yours gets a pat on the back and a participation clap. That's when the narrative shifts. Now it's not about basketball, It's about algorithms, injustice, and the integrity of the game, whatever that conveniently means this week. Because when her players are snubbed, it's a systemic failure. But when her team wins, oh, then the system's working just fine. Funny how that works. And the real kicker? She had to sit there and watch her squad get outclassed, in a real game, with real stakes, by that same Indiana Fever team she's been side-eyeing all week. The Commissioner's Cup. A trophy. A statement. And it wasn't a fluky buzzer beater or some lucky run. It was domination, wire to wire. That's when the salt didn't just sprinkle. It crystallized into a full-blown Himalayan mountain. It's not the all-star votes that burned. It's the scoreboard.
They're there. There's nothing no crying and whining is going to do about it. The same way you didn't give two shits about Caitlin Clark's fan base and all that. Don't nobody give two shits about your crying. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you're coaching Caitlin Clark team. I don't understand why you had to make it a big deal and say, oh, well, this team's below us to have more plays and us and it's disappointing. And like, what are you talking about? Like, you already kept her off the Olympics. Now you're going to complain about her having more teammates than your players on the court. This team.
That loss wasn't just a bruise to the ego. It was a televised exorcism. And now Cheryl's spiraling like a parent who just found out the neighbor's kid got into Harvard while hers is still out front perfecting TikTok dances in the driveway. It's petty. It's glorious. It's peak vintage Reeve. Because nothing screams I'm totally fine like publicly combusting over a popularity contest that supposedly doesn't matter. Except, of course, it does. The WNBA is finally basking in the spotlight. Ratings are climbing. Merch is flying. And the Indiana Fever have gone from meme to movement. But instead of leaning in, here comes Cheryl with a metaphorical megaphone, yelling about balance and respect, like the league's being overrun by a swarm of 22-year-olds with Instagram deals. Spoiler alert, it already is. And guess what? It's working. But sure, let's all pretend it's still 2014, and the basketball gods owe veteran coaches a slow clap just for showing up in a pantsuit. This was never about logic, it's about energy. That all-star roster didn't fill itself by accident. It was built by buzz, by fans, by viral moments that mattered. You can't coach your way around cultural gravity. You can't diagram a play to stop a movement. Cheryl's out here trying to play chess while the rest of the league is live-streaming to millions, and every time she tries to checkmate the new era, they just hit reverse on the draw 4 and send it right back.
It's Caitlin Clark. Hey, Caitlin, are there any player trades you like to make? Nah, I'm kind of set with my team, but I would like to trade coaches. I like it. I don't know what's gotten into Caitlin Clark. You are leaning into this bad guy role. I love it. I don't know what's gotten into you, Caitlin Clark, but you've been on some I don't give a F lately. I love it.
Let's be real. If her team had landed 3 all-stars, we wouldn't hear a word of protest. There'd be confetti, a victory lap, maybe even a smug LinkedIn post about culture wins. But the moment the spotlight skips her roster, suddenly we're in DEFCON 1 over ethics and fairness. Please. The only crisis here is trying to look gracious while quietly unraveling over someone else's moment. Funny how teamwork and merit quickly morph into this is rigged when the votes don't swing your way. The system's only broken when it stops favoring the same worn-out hierarchies. The league is growing, finally pulling in national attention. But heaven forbid that spotlight drifts from legacy egos. Cheryl's not fighting for justice. She's fighting irrelevance. And deep down, everyone feels it. This isn't righteous outrage. It's the uneasy panic of someone watching the game evolve in real time and not knowing whether to adapt or throw a fit. She chose tantrum. Because when your identity is built on being the smartest person in the room, nothing stings more than realizing the room has moved on without you. The fever is rising, literally, and Cheryl's trapped in a snowstorm of her own expectations. Watching her unravel over a list of names read at halftime feels like watching someone rage at a touchscreen for not having buttons.
Being the coach of Team USA that Caitlin Clark was so famously snubbed from. Of course, Reeve wasn't a part of the official committee, but, some may believe she had some say in how all that went down. Regardless, the picking between the players was a lot of fun, and Caitlin Clark also wound up with all of the Fever members on her squad as well, meaning Aaliyah Boston, Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell will be a trio in Indianapolis.
The WNBA is having a moment. A real one. And some people are so bitter, They'd rather see the momentum stall than celebrate the players dragging it into the spotlight. This isn't just sour grapes, it's a whole vineyard. We're talking grape juice, grape jelly, and enough fermented bitterness to bottle a vintage. And deep down, Cheryl knows it. Admitting it, though, that would mean accepting the uncomfortable truth. The game has outgrown her blueprint. That winning, on its own, isn't the currency it used to be. Charisma matters now. Visibility. Relevance. And if your brand can't compete in that arena, no amount of shouting into the All-Star void is going to rewrite the rules. The Fever earned that spotlight. Whether by strategy or beautiful chaos, they became the nucleus of the WNBA conversation. And Cheryl? She faded into the background, an angry side character yelling from the rafters. It's not a good look. It's giving 2007 called and wants its playbook back. Because even if she's technically right about a few things, no one's listening. Why? Because no one wants to hear the runner-up explain why the winner doesn't deserve the trophy. That's not insight. That's ego with a flimsy disguise. And when the dust settles, the All-Star game will roll on. The fans will cheer. The Fever will bask. And Cheryl Reeve will still be trying to rewind a clock that's already moved on. The drama in this league. It's a telenovela in sneakers, escalating weekly. First, it's a missed call. Then it's an Instagram unfollow. What's next? Stay tuned.